Hi, I'm Laura Leopard, and welcome to Leopard Chat, our new series of interviews with legal professionals where we ask the questions we think you'd like answered. Today we're chatting with Marina Sirras, who is the President of NALSC, the National Association of Legal Search Consultants, and who is a legal recruiter in her own right with her company, Marina Sirras and Associates. Welcome, Marina.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for inviting me to do this.
Oh, you're most welcome. Thank you for consenting to be our first interviewee. Well, let's begin today with talking just a little bit about NALSC, so our viewers are aware of your organization. I do believe NALSC was started back in the 1980s by a group of legal search consultants. Can you tell us a little bit about why the organization was formed?
Well, legal search actually started in the late 60s and it grew dramatically throughout the 70s, early 80s. But there was very little credibility and very little structure within the industry, and a group of recruiters decided that they really needed to form some kind of association where they would be able to set some standards in the industry. In 1984, they formed NALSC and incorporated the NALSC Code of Ethics at the same time, which is the Bible of our industry.
And this Code of Ethics can also be found on your website, I would imagine.
Yes, you can go to nalsc.org and it's right there. NALSC, the Code of Ethics has become very well known to our clients as well, and many of the top law firms have incorporated into their fee agreements that anyone who does business with them must abide by the NALSC Code of Ethics. So it's much easier to be a member, and then you absolutely have to abide by the NALSC Code of Ethics.
Oh, that's great. Then you have truly set the standard for the industry.
We have, and our industry has grown tremendously and continues to grow. Anyone who is doing legal search and actually gets 51% of their revenues from permanent placements can become a member of NALSC.
Oh, that's great. And I'm curious, when NALSC first started, how many members were there?
Well, I believe it was 10 recruiters who started NALSC, and the first conference that they had was attended, and it was here in New York, was attended by about 40 or so. It's grown tremendously.
How many members do you have now?
We have over 200, and that's not individual members. That's individual members as well as companies that have 10, 12, 15 or more recruiters.
Oh, that's great.
So it's quite big.
It's grown quite a bit since its inception. Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about, I know you're getting ready for a conference that's coming up. You're going to have a big conference in Hollywood, Florida.
We are.
And can you tell us a little bit about the focus of this particular conference?
Our annual conference is going to be at the Western Diplomat in Hollywood, Florida, the second week in May. And the focus of the conference is going to be a lot of networking, a lot of educational issues that we all need to know about, especially dealing with employment issues. And the focus is going to be on integrity, diversity, and branding. Great things to learn from and network with your fellow recruiters.
Oh, that's great. I know you also usually have some individuals from law firms come and participate in panels and speak. Who will some of those guests be this year?
We have, our panelists are usually partners in the various law firms. We have law firm sponsors who attend our cocktail parties and our karaoke night sometimes for the fun ones, and we have actually law firm representatives attend the conference as just an attendee. So it's a great time to network and meet your clients.
Absolutely. So you can network with fellow legal recruiters and people from law firms, and it's a great way to get to introduce yourself to those individuals.
Yes.
Well, that's great. I know we're looking forward to it. Leopard Solutions is also going to attend the conference. We are an associate member.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself now and how you got into legal recruiting in the first place?
Well, legal recruiting is my third career. I was a marketing analyst when I first started, and then I was played mother for 17 years, which is a hard job, and then went into legal recruiting at fellow recruiter was my neighbor, and she was encouraging me to go and join her. She saw the way I ran PTA and swim team and liked what I did, so here I am.
That's great. And how long did you work for her before you ventured out on your own?
9 months. But things are very different back then. You needed a martingale hubble, a telephone, and a lot of good contacts and relationships, and I had all of that.
Well, that's great. Of course, today now you need a little Leopard Solutions help, but
yes. Well, right now we have so much information available to us, so you just need to look for it. It's there.
Right. Well, let me just ask you a few questions about sort of the climate of the business today, and from a candidate's perspective, why would a candidate want to choose a legal recruiter who is a member of NALSC?
Well, it goes back to the fact that a NALSC member has to abide by the NALSC Code of Ethics, and there's a section in the Code of Ethics as to how we should deal with candidates. There's one as to how we should deal with clients and one about candidates. And by choosing a NALSC member, you have a great network. You can be able, if you're looking to move to, if a candidate's looking to move to a different city, we could go back to a NALSC member and expand that search. There is the credibility factor, of course, and there's the integrity factor.
Right. So everything's pretty open with a NALSC member with their code of ethics and know what to expect.
Yes, and the other thing that the Code of Ethics dictates is that we must give a candidate all the information that's going to help in their decision making.
Always helpful.
Always.
And I know there's a little bit of change going on in the industry right now, especially in some financial sectors. If a candidate came to you and asked for advice about is now a good time to move, what sort of advice would you give someone who's possibly seeking a new position?
Well, right now the market is a little jittery, to say the least, but there are all these different areas that pick up. Right now we get a lot of calls for bankruptcy attorneys. So there's always something going on. The one thing that I would give a candidate is that they must be patient at this time, that they can't expect to find their dream job within a short period of time, as was the case a year ago.
Just to be a little patient.
A little patient, yes, absolutely.
Well, that's valuable advice. And what a lovely chat we had today.
It's very enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. And thank you for joining us. I look forward to seeing you again on the next Leopard Chat.